viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. We're outside in the 2016 Hemi Dodge Ram. It's the 3500. It's got the money light on, 44,420 miles. I gave a quick look at this the other day for the fella, and it has a code for something to do with the EVAP, and I checked it out quick like a bunny rabbit, and it is missing the 5-volt reference, or the 5-volt power supply to the fuel tank pressure sensor, which has already been replaced on top of the fuel tank. So we have to track that down. At the moment that I checked it for him, I just didn't have time. It had one other issue. We fixed that. I don't remember what it was, but at any rate, so I've got some time today. We've got to find out, do we have a broken wire or do we have a bad computer? And that's what we need to know. So now that we're all up to speed, that's what we're gonna do. Because I think the other day when he brought it in, I had a bad attitude and I was out of time, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm gonna wait for the cars here. So today we're gonna have a better attitude and a little more time. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna have to believe me in the fact that we don't have 5 volts down there, and we need to find a wiring diagram, and we need to go right to the source. We need to go right to the computer and find out, do we have 5 volts there? And then if we do, now we've got to go on the hunt for the broken wire. We'll go in and see the very lovely Mrs. O. Don't worry, Mrs. O, we'll get it. What? Don't worry, we'll get it. We'll get our own paper.
Okay.
Alright?
Yeah.
Thanks.
We're doing schoolwork here.
Okay.
Yeah, go away.
So let's have a look-see at what we're after. Let me get a pointing apparatus. Switch hands, pop the cap. So what do we have? We have the fuel tank pressure sensor here, standard 3-wire pressure transducers. We have a ground, the signal wire, and then the 5-volt wire. And that goes up to inline chassis engine transmission. That's handy. Thanks for not putting a number there, Chrysler. And then from there, it goes to the PCM. And I think this is where I got frustrated last time and just ran out of time, because they didn't give me a connector number. So like, you know, where is this? So that's where we got to try to spend some time looking, because ideally, I know for a fact that when I had it over there on Josh's lift, I checked here and I had no 5 volts, but with it unplugged, I had 5 volts on the signal wire, and then I had a good ground. So that's, you know, this wire's good, this wire's good, this wire is sus. And we should have 5 volts there. It would have been nice if I quickly could have found this, opened it up and say, do I have 5 volts here? And then nothing here. You know, is the connector crappy? But I think what we'll do is we'll see if we can find where the PCM lives, if that's easy to get to, and we can find connector C1 and pin 48. We can quickly check to see if we have 5 volts there, and if we do, then good. Then we know for a fact we have a broken wire, and then it just becomes the hunt. So I popped the hood on her, and I believe that this is the PCM hiding over here. I don't know which one is C2, but it's a 50-50 chance. I do know that. I think this is still our best option, because that is easy to get to. Now I do recall looking underneath it, right here behind the driver's side fender well, we'll take a look. There was a couple of inline connectors. So there's a connector there and one there, and that's not mud. It's a farm truck, so if you can want to take a guess what that is. So I don't know if those are the connectors they're talking about. I thought I took a quick glance at them and did not see at whatever pin number it was, which was, yeah, pin 1 and 2 and 3. I think I remember looking at it and not seeing any of those wire colors near, you know, the edge of the connectors where 1, 2, and 3 would be. So I might have to do a little research on that, but let's perhaps start here. So we'll take a guess on who is number 2. It's this one, or it's this one. We won't cut the zip tie until we find out. Let's see if we can find some identifiers. So there is a number on top of that. I believe that is 36. and that's 24. I'll figure this out, folks, who's who here. I might have to get out my old man glasses and or my little magnifying glass here so we can read the numbers. And we'll find out which pin houses our 5-volt wire potentially. I think we might be a couple of lucky sons and mothers here today, because if that is a 24, because I think that's a 96, 24, 48, yeah, 48 and 48 would be 96, so that would make sense. So if that's 24, then we're looking for pin 48. Boom! Ha! Some days you get lucky, fella, because that 24 plus 24 is 48, so that should be the second row right here on top. And that looks like it's dark blue. That looks like dark blue with purple or dark blue with pink. What's this one? According to our magnifying glass, this one, 24, 48, is black with white, so it has to be, because I think we're looking for a blue wire. And we are, dark blue with pink, 18 gauge. 48, look at that, it is right on top. Boy, I tell you what, today's going to be a good day. Today's going to be a good day, folks. So we're going to take and click this one back together, because we don't have no business being over here. Maybe. Why you gotta be like that, okay? Okay, that one's clicked back together. This is the wire we're after. It just so happened to be right in a good spot. So we'll stick our little screwdriver there right behind it, because that's where we're going. We'll get a back probe, and we'll get a meter, and we'll turn the key on, and we'll see if we have 5 volts. Okay, key is on. Sorry about my creaky stool here. It's one of them El Cheapos from the Harbor Freight. So it's a little noisy, but the truck's a little tall. Okay, so here's our meter. We're gonna find a ground. Maybe the PCM is grounded, I don't know. We need to find something to verify that. Let me check, let me ground it to something else. Everything's freaking plastic on nowadays cars. It's kind of annoying. There's like nothing metal to hook to. Let me hook to the alternator case here where you can't see. All right, and then we're gonna go to graphing meter. We're gonna, oops, here I am getting all clicky. And back out of there, we're going to go to volts DC. We've got her on a 20 volt scale. We're going to test our meter. I got it hooked to, this was battery positive. This is battery positive. Maybe it's not battery positive. This one should be positive. Okay, there we go, 12.36, so we know our meter works. So that's good. And then we'll reach up here in the old hat. We'll grab us a T-pin. We'll come right in on that little guy, nice and straight. Make sure I think we're in all the way. Clip onto that. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at that, fellas. 4.9er. So we do have 5 volts here, but we don't have 5 volts down there. So what kind of problems can you have with a wire? I think there's only 3 that you can have. You can have a short, you can have an open, or you can have high resistance. And that is it. Those are the only problems you can have with a wire, a physical wire. So we're talking about the wire itself. We're not talking about a computer sending corrupt data down it or anything like that. We're talking about the physical wire and the condition it can be in. A short, an open, or high resistance. That's the only types of wire problems you can have. Regardless of what somebody else tells you. So a short, that will include a short to power, a short to ground, or short to another circuit. An open is an open, that's wires cut, or high resistance. And that is it. Those are the only wiring problems you can ever have in your entire life. Every type of wiring problem will fall in one of those 2 categories. So this one here I believe we clearly have an open circuit, because if we had a short, we would probably have 5-volt reference codes, and we probably would be seeing 0 volts here. So let's get after it, boys. That's all we can do. We know what we have here. I should be smart about this because the vehicle has been gone and has returned to my shop. We should be smart about it and make sure that the problem still exists, which I assume it does because the money light was still on. So let's plug a scan tool in. Let's look at our fuel tank pressure data PID. And if it is still abnormal, then we know we're still missing 5 volts down there. And then I say our next step is to find this inline chassis engine transmission. We need to find this connector because that's going to be the next easiest thing. I think I will also, while I'm right here, quick like a bunny, I'm just going to see where this harness goes. Looks like it comes over here, runs across the engine. Looks like it's got some pretty heavy rub spots on it. I'm just going to do a visual inspection without putting my mitts on it too heavily and see if we can find out where it goes and also help us make an assessment here. So that's the plan, Stan. So in the live data here, we can see it's still broke. So fuel tank pressure is at 14.12 inches of the water, which is about a half a PSI, which we know that's too much. And it has a code stored in it for something to do with the purge system performance, because it's turning the purge valve on, but it's not seeing any change in that fuel tank pressure because it doesn't have 5 volts going to it. So the sensor just, at 0. I'll try not to give you a vertigo, but here is the fuel tank. She's a big one. And up above the fuel tank lives the fuel tank pressure sensor, which I'm not even going to try to get at for you folks. I think you can see a little bit of it sticking out there, but then the harness to it runs up here through the frame rail, runs down the driver's side frame rail, and then heads into the forward direction. Now, like I say, I did see these connectors here, which I don't believe are it, because I did look around them last time I was in, and I didn't see our wire color that we needed. And you can see she's a little crappy, we'll say. And we do have this inline chassis connector, which I'm going to do the hokey pokey up here, move some of the dirt and see if we see a connector. And if we don't, we're just going to have to take a guess somewhere to start splitting the system down and see what we can figure out. Because it's a tad cruddy, but I don't know if there's a connector under that crud. I like calling it crud. Makes me feel better. So we'll get this set up and let's do the hokey pokey. And I'm going to do the hokey pokey without you because I don't want to hold the camera and get crud all around on everything. Minimal crud removal, and I think we might be onto something, because look, I think I see some bare wires right up on here. Might be nothing, but wanted to bring you along just in case. Oh, is that a blue? Is that a blue and a pink there on the bottom? Oh. Is my luck still strong with me? It can't be this easy. It can't be the first place we cleaned off the crud. Enhance. Enhance. Unenhance. Oh, I can't tell because my face is too close to the viewfinder and my eyes are too old. But that definitely looks like a suspect spot. Let's get the screwdriver here and we'll dig out some more of this stuff. Oh yeah, there's some... Oops. People are asking me how come I'm not using a pressure washer. Well, it's because I don't want to be working in the mud. I'd rather work in dry cow crud than wet cow crud. You know what I'm saying? And don't be pissed at this guy for not cleaning it, man. This guy's a farmer. You should thank him. Otherwise, you'll starve to death. Okay, folks? This guy's like this. Keep the world running. baby! I think we have some room now, folks. Wanted to get things cleaned off because I think we're about to get the money shot. Let's come over here and find us a hooker. Boom, got one. I'm thinking. Let me see if I can get everybody up in here. Let's see, I think it's this bottom wire. Oh yes ma'am, are you guys ready? Bow, bow, bow. Ooh, this is a toughie. She's broke, right? Yeah, she broke. Come on, you're stretchy little fella, ain't you? Come on. Here comes the money shot. Pink! There we are, baby. We found it, first try. This is all. What are you doing?
Same thing.
I need to get out the Bible.
Oh dear.
Alright, you know how there's spiritual gifts. Is one of them finding wires by any chance? Is that my spiritual gift?
Yeah, I don't
it's
think
not.
that's listed. But it probably is a gift from the Lord.
I know, because guess what I just did? Found me another wire.
And you can't even smell yet.
Can't.
So you
Just
can't
want
blame it on your sniffer.
come in here to brag. That's all.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know what it is, folks, but I do have this uncanny ability to find broken wires. It's almost odd. As it is almost like divine intervention. But yeah, now, I mean, that is our wire, right? Before we get all bragging about stuff, I believe I did see that was blue and pink. Of course, the drive shaft's kind of in our way here, I think. We also have to see if that is the only wire that is abraded, because it appears, because of the crud that is sitting on the cross member, that it was doing the old rub job on this thing. And obviously it abraded through. Is abrasion is the, do you use the word abrade? It abraded in an abrasion-like fashion through the harness here, which appeared to have Tessa tape on it, which is some pretty rugged stuff. But if that's happening, man, that's going to be a problem on this truck, because there is a lot of crud underneath all of the harnesses, so this could be a problem. At any rate, I'm going to take and work at this a little bit. We're going to unhook it off of that. There we go. Now we can probably see our wire color. I'd have you guys on a tripod, but it's kind of an awkward spot. Let's see here. Let's get the wire. Where's our hook? This wire, right? Yeah, I just want to make sure it is the right wire, because that would stink to fix a wire and still have the same problem. Let me stick the hook down here where I'm not going to get stuck. And it appears to be blue with pink. Hooray, hooray! We found the broken wire. Hoorah! Let's get this fixed. And I can't really think of anything else better to do. Maybe wrap a piece of radiator hose around it, slid a piece of radiator hose, wrap it around it, but I'm gonna, before I get these two twisted up, make sure nothing else is kind of halfway gone through before we clean this off and then seal it up permanently. I soldered in a new piece. Why? Because I like pissing off everybody on the internet. So I had to put a little extension, so I just put a piece of 18 gauge blue in there, soldered and heat shrink and sealed it there. And also there, and I didn't see any other wires in the harness that were abraded. So I think we're in good shape there. Let's go have a little look-see though. We'll go back to our live data and see if we've fixed it. That'll be the real truth. We'll go fuel and then tank. Pressure, bada bing, bada boom. We got her fixed, huh? Lucky guess, baby, lucky guess. So now what has to be done is I have to kind of clean this up here a little bit and get into a good spot, because we've got to try to prevent this from happening again. Ultimately, it's happened because of the crud. under there abrading its way through the harness. So like I said, I do want to clean this up a bit, get it taped back up, and I'll probably take like a piece of scrap radiator hose, maybe slit it, stick it over it, and then kind of reattach everything, and then just hope for the best. And just as you thought you were getting caught up, another one gets dragged in. Scotch Super 88, brand spanking new roll. Best part about this, you ready? Get a whiff of that. There ain't nothing like the smell of a brand new roll of Scotch 88. Not a sponsor. The only downside is she's huge, and we need to get in a tight area. Free tip Friday for you. I've showed this many a times. Take your classic 1/4-inch drive. This is the 8mm variety. Try to pick one that doesn't have a big step in it. And if you need to make what I call a mini roll, we'll get it peeled back here. We'll get it started. Boom, get her started. You stick her on the classic 9mm, not the 8mm. And then you just wind her around town. Just bring her around like that. Don't pull it tight though, folks. Just however many wraps you think you'll need to make your mini roll. And then put a couple extra. And then leave her hanging. Bring out your EDC Gerber. There we go. Give her one of these. Right onto the floor. Almost cut my finger. And there you go. There's your mini roll of black tape. So I'm thinking, I've got this piece of heater hose, just a standard piece of your 5/8 heater hose, it looks like. And we're gonna slit it down this side. Cut towards your buddy, not your body, they say. So there's that, and I think we'll be better served to open this up, stick it on a harness, a couple zip ties, and that'll keep it from rubbing through, is my thoughts. Hey girl. I've gone ahead, you guys seen that I made the soldering repair to get everybody upset, and then I made the mini roll. We taped it up, and then I made a mini roll of Tessa tape, the abrasion proof tape, and put that over top of it also, trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. And then I think we'll go like this with our hose. We should be able to slip that baby on there, I'm thinking. Oh, we gotta gear up a little bit higher because I want to be able to still utilize that one factory zip tie that we can click her back in. I don't know if it's gonna help it, but it sure ain't gonna hurt it. Right? Right. Well, we all agree. Slide that back down. And then, like I say, I think we'll throw a few zip ties on it. It has one factory retainer up here, has another factory retainer here. Now, the one that went here, I did have to cut off. There was no reusing that. It was a zip tie. And I think that'll be good. And I think that abraded, because the transmission's always, wah, wah, you know, he's hammering on that hemi and constantly just scuffing this wire a little bit back and forth. So perhaps some of the ones up on the frame that aren't attached to a moving part, such as the transmission, might be okay, other than a normal jiggly wigglies that gets going down the road. So let's zip tie this up, make it look all fancy, and then I think we're done. We'll go eat some lunch. Whoa! Come up here with the Snap-on flush cuts. They cut zip ties flush, so the next guy doesn't look like he got in a fight with a razor blade when he reaches his hand up here. And there, I think that will resolve the rubbing issues. It does look like it's holding up off that cross member, then of course, you know, where it runs straight through here. Now I stuck it back in those factory holders. So again, folks, before you get on this guy about not washing his truck, just lay off it a little bit. A lot of farmers have bigger problems than washing off the bottom of their truck before it comes to the mechanic. So that's that, folks. Show's over. This was just a simple routine broken wire, chasing the wire down, checking it on this end, checking it on the other end. Of course, I didn't show you checking on the other end because you had to believe me, because we're starting to have a little bit of trust, you and I. And then just using our schnoz and our spiritual gifts, if you will, to go through and find the broken wire, which for some reason we have an uncanny ability to do. And we did. We came, we saw, we conquered. And just remember, folks, if you got food on your table or in your grocery store, thank a farmer, okay? Don't forget it. And we're not forgetting that. Don't forget to go in the comment sections. The questions, the comments, the Insta, the Facebook. You all know this by now. Y'all. I just said y'all, but I'm from New York. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.